Here's an important lesson in life. Sometimes you have to know when to pick your battles. And then when the time comes, you hit them hard with tires blazing, and you leave nothing on the table. Hello everyone, welcome back to my quest to find the quickest and fastest drag car in the game BeamNG Drive. The rules are simple, no game mods, and the cars have to retain all outer body panels, doors, trunk, hood, etc. Today I'm going to find out how this unassuming Bruckell Moonhawk stacks up against the rest of BeamNG's drag cars without the use of any game mods. So far, we've proven that Uber has nothing on the classics, as our Bruckell Blue Bug Taxi ran a 7.303 at 185 miles per hour. And then we harnessed its power and wrestled our Bruckell Burnside Porky to a 7.54 at 184 miles per hour. While both those cars had 423 cubic inch engines, the Moonhawk has a more economical, in other words worse, 378 cubic inch supercharged Stage 4 performance block, which will eventually be fed all the nitrous it can handle. The first thing to do is to take it down the track as is and find out what we're working with. It definitely launches hard. At the finish line, it runs a 7.793 at 177 miles per hour. That's the fastest pass yet by one of these cars right out of the box. There may be a new number one before this is over. The drag version of this car comes without the front and rear bumpers. Since we want all the cars to have all the outer body parts, I put those back on. I expect the weight to slow the car a little bit, but it may also make it easier to control those wheel stands once we have more power. And, as expected, the car slows to a 7.901 at 174 miles per hour. Next, I'll remove the side mirrors and lower the front spring height to keep the front end down on the launch. That did exactly what I wanted there. It runs a 7.833 at 176 miles per hour. Now we'll lighten the car up and free up some horsepower by removing the exhaust pipes. Normally these cars pull to the right on the launch once you have so much power, so I stage the cars pointing left a bit and things straighten out down track pretty quickly. This car doesn't do that as much. In fact, when it unloads on the wheelie bars, it goes left. At least it did this time. Anyway, with that in mind, I line it up straight and go again. It goes a little left again, but keeping my foot down, the car runs a new best of 7.769 at 177 miles per hour. Between less weight and more power, as you can see, it goes right back to the big wheelies. For the next pass, I bottom out and stiffen the front spring height and soften the rear springs to prepare for a 200 kW shot of nitrous. That might be the smoothest launch I've had in any of these cars yet. At the finish line, it runs a 7.378 at 187 miles per hour. The elapsed time is good enough to make it the second quickest car so far in the quarter mile, and 187 miles per hour is a new top speed. Nice. Well, smell on that number one position. We add another 100 kW nitrous to a total of 300 and let it rip. It launches like a rocket to the moon and runs a 7.336 with the first 190 mile per hour pass. I think if we can launch it like the previous pass, but with the current power level, we'll have a new number one. that in mind, I just threw some crap at the wall with the hopes it might stick. I thought if I lowered the rebound on the front shocks a lot and softened the rear spring rate a lot, that it might keep the car from power wheel standing so much, and I could play with more power and an aggressive final drive ratio. It didn't work. It almost did the opposite of what I wanted there. The front end lifts so violently that it unloads its weight on the wheelie bars and sends the car into the wall. Obviously, I fixed the suspension issues for the next pass, and instead try a less aggressive 3-to-1 final drive ratio instead of the 3.56-to-1 that we've been running. Well, you can see how much that calmed down the launch. Probably way too much though, and a 7.38 doesn't improve on our best time. Instead of big changes, I adjust the final drive to 3.3-to-1 instead of 3 to get it to leave better. I up the nitrous from 300 to 330 and lower the left rear ride height and rear bump damping just a bit to keep the car pointing straight. And send it to the new number 1 spot with the motor blowing 7.242 at only 185 miles per hour. Pretty happy with that run, except for the fact that it blew up. As hard as it was, I backed down the nitrous just a little bit to 325 from 330 for one last pass. And as a result, it's the new quickest and fastest on our list with a 7.229 laps time at over 192 miles per hour. There you have it. The Moonhawk was the quickest car out of the box with the default settings, and at the end of our session here is the quickest car currently on our list. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss the next part of this series as we try to find the fastest car in BeamNG without the use of mods. Thanks for watching. See you next time.